indie kids, people who have beanies, people who have turntables, people who probably like to skate but can't, people who probably has asthma but they smoke anyways, people who smoke, people who goes to Zoomies and Journeys for their clothing items, people who buy clothing that are kind of movie related, people who like movies that are kind of artsy but they don't get it, people who think they get it when they see an artsy movie, people who think that yeah, that
Me.
I'm just kidding.
No, but honestly, like, hello everyone. We're the Continuity Crew. I'm Will. That's Win, and today we're back with another episode of Big Feature Film Podcast.
Yeah.
And today we're doing The Green Knight. It's I wouldn't say it doesn't necessarily fit the name. It's not necessarily the big feature this week. That'd be Jungle Cruise, but go check out our review on that. But this is starring Dave Patel. It is a Dev Patel. And then it's an A24 film. I think he's in this one movie that's supposedly really good called Lion. And it's like,
is it like a Narnia movie?
I think it's about he's
The Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe.
I honestly don't know, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to talk about Green Knight. Yes, he is in Lion, and he's also in Slumdog Millionaire. And Chappie. Oh yeah, and he's in the second best exotic Marigold Hotel. I remember. But yes,
he looks like he could be in a movie like a Wes Anderson movie.
He does. He fits the bill. But we've got A24, directed by David Lowery, and written for the screen by David Lowery. But it follows a tale that was written forever ago, and it's not known who's written. It's written by Anonymous. It's been translated many times by many people. I believe one of them was J.R.R. Tolkien, but it's about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, essentially. The Green Knight is this big tree-looking dude, and it's just kind of the story of that. And I really wonder, I don't think I'll ever read the story, but I'd like to maybe skim over it and see.
Yeah.
Because this movie is very artsy.
Yeah, it's like it's like David Lowery's A Ghost Story.
Yeah. Actually, whenever I was looking just now, I was like, yeah, I actually see like that Ghost Story type vibe, because it is a really quiet movie for the most part. But
David Lowery has this he's like what's his name? David Fincher. He really likes showing people walking a lot.
Yeah.
In his movies.
But hey, so good in this though. The shots in this were beautiful.
I like the practical lighting.
Yes.
The changes in color, the changes in background. It really so you know how like in old they did that 360 cam where they were going around the characters?
Yes.
Yeah, they did that better here.
Oh, yeah.
They did so much better.
And just to talk about another movie from last week, like Snake Eyes had awful color grading, at least in my opinion. It just was all over the place, and it didn't mean anything. Well, this one, it felt like it meant something. It set the tone. It was good. So good on them. But
everything that they did for the color grading is something. It's like something that I would do or some Instagrammer would do for their photographs, or photography Instagram would do, especially in the forest stuff.
Yes.
Like the somewhat muted, kind of vibrant green, and they just lower that, and they have a little bit of brown.
And then towards like the final act, like they kind of change that completely because it's near the end, or like there's a couple scenes where they go strictly one color.
Yeah.
And just to show it, again, that tone or emotion that we're supposed to feel, and it really works.
Zack Snyder did that, and he did an awful job on that one.
In what movies? Because I'll probably agree.
Batman v Superman, the whole apocalypse look.
Oh, yeah, I get it, but I'll honestly agree with you. It's not too good.
Nah.
It could be done better.
It just looks like
I couldn't do better, but yet it's goofy. I would agree. But this, not goofy. It's neither of us had read the tale of Sir Gawain or with the Green Knight or whatever, but it was really honestly cool to go in blind. It's kind of like how with Zola, I went in and not knowing the Twitter thread. Yeah. Go check out our Zola.
I didn't even know this movie had a history. I thought it was just
I mean,
movie
same.
by A24.
Because the trailer for this may have come out probably 2 years ago, honestly.
It did because it premiered in South by Southwest back in 2020, 2019, something like that.
Probably
Something like
2019
that.
if I had to guess. But it's
Apparently it
so
wrote
good.
reviews.
I honestly had I guess high expectations for it, but like all of them were met. I wouldn't say it was like exceeded. It was exactly what I wanted it to be, and I was ready for it to go whatever direction, either this actiony medieval stuff or this quiet like journey with this character. And it was more the quiet journey, which some people definitely probably want the medieval stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But this was it was cool, and you get to know this character without really him saying anything, and just through what they show you in the film itself. But what you think about it?
I love this movie.
Yeah.
I'm still okay. All right, so I'm trying to decipher this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is? I'm gonna guess, since this was about a book. Is this about like church and stuff? Did it seem like it, or did it seem like it was like a King Arthur?
So they even said that this isn't the king. They was like, it was the king, I guess, narrating in the beginning. It was like, oh, the knights pulling swords from the lake, but this isn't that story. So
okay.
I could definitely see it have some religious meaning or something, but honestly, I'm not really sure. And honestly, this isn't an explained video. This is a review.
Yeah.
I honestly a lot of it, I don't really know what the was going on, but it was beautiful and I really liked it. And I think we both want to probably watch this a second time.
What is that? What is that thing that the church does? Virtues?
Yes. Oh, they mentioned that.
Yeah.
I with what the main plot points, he's kills this green knight, this tree looking dude, that because he comes in and challenges him and says, year from now, Christmas, come find me. I'm going to do the same thing to you. He cuts his head off and takes this axe and brings the axe back to him at the end. And it's honestly I guess the moral of the story, at least in the end, is like a kind of humility and just courage as well, of just I'm accepting my fate. I'm the willingness of it. Like I did what I did, and it's kind of makes him the knight I guess he would become. So it's like it's a good
he wanted to become.
Yes.
Because like I don't think I think he really is a total opposite of King Arthur. He's definitely not. This character is an anti-hero for sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
This character, he goes to the brothel, he fucks girls.
Because the movie, I mean, we just got out of it, but I have an awful memory. But it's like it ends after the tree guy just goes off with your head. That's like it, right? Yeah. Okay. So it's good. I don't really necessarily want to get into the plot too much because I feel like I do that a lot. But also, I don't really. It was beautiful. It was great.
To make it very basic, the character development was great.
Yes.
The plot of the story, the whole story in itself, is you have to really decode it to understand what's going on. Because the whole thing is they don't hand fist it to you, but they kind of do. Because I feel like that whole first part with him at his journey kind of is just such a basic story, but they don't really talk much in the movie and they don't really tell you much of what's going on. I mean, one part they even do like the whole fox thing, where the fox is there's this fox, and in like literature it's foxes are like foxins. Foxins are known to be spiritual guides, and they're supposed to tell you everything that you need to know, and it's kind of literal but not. So when you're watching this movie, don't take it literally.
Yeah, it's not. It's what it is it's cryptic, but it's hand fed to you. It's not like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a movie that was complicated and I don't know, like a Nolan film.
I was about to say that.
like Tenet, I guess, where it's like you watch it and you're not necessarily get it, but with this one you watch it and you say, "Oh, I think I get it," and you probably do. It's not,
or you don't, because there's some parts in there where I was just kind of like, okay, so this is what's going on. So I don't think I'm supposed to believe any of this shit.
Well, yeah, a couple of the cuts. So there's one scene I'm like, okay, he's just dead the whole time, or he's just high the whole time.
Yeah, because he did eat some shrooms.
He's just high.
Yeah.
Some of the scenes, I honestly believe he was probably just high.
I think the way I thought about it was just how he imagined it.
Mm-hmm.
or like how
He retold it maybe
or
afterwards.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he was like, because this is about a this
Well,
book
and
is by an unknown author. I want to say that the part of the mystery of this story is that the character. It's about in the book. It's about the character and the way he tells it.
mm-hmm.
So it's like an author telling his own
Well,
story.
yeah, that honestly almost would make sense and kind of fit his character to where it'd be like, this is the retelling. He did, and he learned his lesson about like courage or whatever, but he's still like, he's gonna talk himself up because he wants that knighthood and everything.
Yeah, and he doesn't really deserve it.
Yes.
So I guess at the very end he kind of understood that, because the whole time, the most important thing was, I want to say, the most important thing to him was nobility. I don't know if that's a word. Nobility, yeah.
Yes.
That sounds like mobility though.
No,
That's
yeah.
why I was scared to say it. Nobility. That's the belt, I think. I don't know. I feel like
Makes
that's
sense.
what it is.
Yeah, this definitely. I mean, you may be able to watch this and know exactly what's going on and decrypt it automatically. I think we both need a second viewing of it, but
Yeah.
it's long for one. I will say, like, some negatives. It's long, so it's not for your average viewer for sure. But I would say most A24 films aren't.
They're not for your average viewer.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that is, but
Under the Silver Lake.
I need to watch it. I was thinking about that literally in this movie. I was like, I need to watch Under the Silver Lake.
Minari.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty much for everybody.
Family.
Family. That should count on there.
Yeah. But Green Knight, it's a good film.
It's not like it's in between for the general audience to, I'm thinking of ending things kind of.
Yeah, where it's like, what?
Yeah, that encryption style storytelling. It's basically in between that. It's, I think I want to say it's
both.
pretty clear. Yeah, I want to say it's pretty clear that the whole time in his journey, I want to say learning virtue, because there's a whole church imagery and theme.
Yeah, because even the crown that they have is like, that's
very Jesus.
Yeah, that's kind of like the depiction of almost saints, and like artwork is like, oh, they've got this halo around them. Yeah. So,
and like the whole, like, for a beginning, I thought that was a really cool image where his head was on fire.
Yes.
And like he had the whole crown and it's a halo. It's like a Jesus Christ style thing, but instead, he's like total opposite. That's why he's on fire. So when he goes out, does a journey and everything like that, he's learning what he's missing. Or
yes,
he's not really learning.
I'm sure, honestly, you could probably look up like the virtues, because there's 5 virtues apparently, and because the whole thing, the queen says to him before he leaves, like, there's 5 like virtues, 5. And I'm sure there's probably something along each one. He learns those virtues. I think it's, in the end, is him he's going to become king, and this is the whole, it's a test, it's a trial. The 3 trials of the warrior. The 3 trials of the what now?
I think this is okay. So this is how I read the story. The mother did that whole thing so that he could learn the virtues, I guess.
Yes.
So she did that whole thing just so that he can learn those things, because instead he was a dipshit. He was kind of an asshole. I mean, what is it? Christmas in the movie? And then he didn't go to the church and all that shit, but he said to her that he did. And the reason why I also think that's that way is because in the middle of the movie, there's a blind lady, or a lady with the thing around her eye, and she didn't say a word. So I'm going to assume that that's his mom watching over him.
Yes.
And that girl is just his blinded thoughts, or his misrepresentation of every other girl, I guess. I don't know, just to make himself feel justified that he did certain thing with this girl. That's why he changed it up a bit. The giant thing, I thought if that was a knight, if he was noble, I guess, he wouldn't ask for a ride on their shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something like that.
I need to watch it again. My brain hurts.
Yeah. So
that was a lot of thinking.
So yeah, again, like I said earlier, this isn't explained.
No.
Well, we would have to have watched it maybe another time. But let's go ahead and give it a rating.
This isn't as complicated as what is that movie with 50 Shades of Grey girl? What's that movie?
Our Friend.
No, the really wonky one that's like foreign and she's dancing and shit. What is that movie called?
I'll look it up.
I talked about it a long time ago.
But what would you say, Win, out of 10 for?
This is a 9.5.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't bored one bit. I was just really sleepy in the movie theater. I gotta be honest with you. Those chairs are really comfy.
They are comfortable.
We haven't been there in a long time too. So.
We haven't. I just wanted to go because we hadn't been in so long.
That was a
Suspiria?
really good idea. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that was her in that movie.
Yeah. It's not as complicated as that movie.
True. But yeah, I'm gonna say a 9 out of 10. It's really good. This again one of
I love this movie.
Yeah, I do as well, and I'll write it down. But in entertainment, I'm gonna say 9 as well.
I want to say 10.
10, yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie, and honestly, I think our expectations were so high, or at least we knew it was an A24 film, so we knew it was probably gonna be good.
I had kind of
I
was cautiously optimistic about this movie, just because of the experience from Zola.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Zola may not have been like what we expected, but there's a certain level of experience that we were kind of expecting, I guess. So,
and I would agree. But it's so good. It is just a beautiful movie. It's definitely a movie made for people like us.
Yeah. David Lowery can. I want to meet you.
Like Ghost Story is one of probably my favorite movies.
It's one of my favorite movies.
I love that movie. It's so good.
I wrote something based off of that movie. And I'm learning how to cinematographize like that.
Also, yeah, I don't think we even mentioned that, but the cinematography in this is solid.
It's like a photograph. I love it. Every bit of it. It's something that I've learned in photography.
Like even the cinematography itself and just the sets themselves, of course a lot of these are a lot of green screen and just the color grading and stuff like that. But this is just so good. That's our Green Knight review.
Go watch this movie.
Yes, if you are into any sort, if you are just into movies, like not just like I saw the Marvel movies or
this movie I think is just for indie kids who think they know movie. No, I don't even think they would watch this. Indie kids, people who have beanies, people who have turntables, people who probably like to skate but can't, people who probably have asthma but they smoke anyways, people who smoke, people who goes to Zoomies and Journeys for their clothing items, people who buy clothing that are kind of movie related, people who like movies that are kind of artsy but they don't get it, people who think they get it when they see an artsy movie, people who think that
me.
I'm just kidding.
No, but honestly, like I could like relate with all those. But anyways, that's our continuity crew. Big Feature Film Podcast.
People who think it's cool to smoke cigarettes
on Green Knight. Whatever. Thank y'all for watching. We've been the continuity crew. As always.
People who drink a lot of espresso.
That's not me. That's the first one you said that wasn't me. I'm Will.
I'm Wang.
That's When. Thank y'all for watching. Like if you enjoyed. Comment down below. What's your favorite A24 film or Dev Patel film? Recommendations, all that good stuff down below. Let us know. And subscribe if you want to see more like this. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications. Thank y'all for watching. We love movies. We love y'all. We'll see y'all in the next one. Bang, bang. Bye-bye.
Bing, 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 bing.